But yeah, like I was saying, with this innate loyalty, it's only with selective dudes. It's only with you know black men who are not trying to do anything positive with their life. Another issue that I have with the grapevine, the Reddit that I heard is that black men are always, black men are always in the wrong, even when being with black women. And I've noticed that black women love misery, and black women can see 1,000 black men, and let's just say out of 1,000 black men, 5% are with white women. Instead of black women looking at the majority of these men who are with black women, they look at the 5%, whether they're ugly or not, and they will harp over that and they will use it for their agenda. And I was pleased to see on the Grapevine episodes to see Sarge Willie Pete back commenting on the fuckery, and it was a joy seeing that. It was a complete joy seeing that. I loved it. It was hilarious. It was really hilarious. Funny thing I saw, man. He was attacking those points left and right, and he was getting it in. And what was funny was that a lot of these women will be a lot of these women will be conscious that there's a flaw about them. Let's just say it's weight. Most of the time it's weight. And so what they'll do is that instead of saying, oh, well, my weight kept me from being with attractive men, the harping, the coping mechanism would be, oh, well, it was my dark skin and my natural hair that turned off black men. I'm like, where did this come from? I'm like, the natural hair part doesn't even make sense. Like, niggas been crying for natural hair for the longest. And for you to say that, oh, we don't want it anymore is a bit weird. But, their weight is always an issue. With black women, their acceptance, their acceptance that they have a weight issue is really hard for them to formulate or to accept. Because I even noticed this with Facebook, and there was a video. It was like two videos that was trending, and ironically, this was with lighter skin, overweight women. And there was one woman. She had these spandex or leggings, and she found like some weird way to make herself look thinner. And this woman had like a horrible stomach. Like, it was just pounds of like excessive fat and rolls. I guess she used to be super overweight, and the skin just, it just ended up looking saggy, and it didn't shrink. And so, she has all this excess weight on her, fat on her. And instead of, doing surgery, she ends up stuffing it in her pants and then making it look like she has a big ass or something. And I was just like, it's so hard for them to even acknowledge that they have a weight issue and just say, hey, if you have to cheat the system and just get it cut off, just kind of get surgery for it, then do it. Nobody's gonna shame you for it. But black men are always guilted into accepting these overweight women, and it's like, it's nasty. Nobody wants to do it. I don't want to do it. I won't do it. But there was another video with a woman who looked just like the other woman that I just mentioned. Fat, overweight, excessive rolls, and what she did. She just did some silly body positive post, and she was naked, and I'm like, I can't with this. I can't with black women making themselves look unattractive on purpose. I'm like, what are you doing? You're already hit with that negative portrayal. So why are you going to make it worse by acting like, oh, this is what a real black woman looks like. This is what a real. They always want to use that feminist cover, like, oh well, this is what real women look like, and I'm like, but when it comes to dudes, I'm not seeing y'all appreciating dudes who are like super skinny or anything. I'm still seeing women with the expectations of being with dudes who are dark skinned, 6'2" or whatever, plays basketball, athletic, tattoos. You guys still have that desire for them, and that's your prerogative. But it's funny how it's another double standard where they can't accept that, hey, you need to do something about the weight. It's as simple as that. But they can't acknowledge that shit, man. They can't acknowledge it for anything. And I was telling my friend who's a nurse, and I was telling him, man, it's like black women, they do their best to be unattractive, and it's almost insulting for me to even try to, provide or work on a media to make black women feel beautiful because, my ideal of beauty, regardless of skin color or complexion, they'll still bitch and moan about it. They'll probably bitch and moan about, oh well, those women, they're skinny, they're slim. And I'm like, that's the point. They're healthy. And then they'll give some stupid ass rebuttal about not all skinny women are healthy. Yeah, of course not. When there could be eating disorders, but you know, somebody having a cold has nothing to do with somebody being too skinny. You know, there's no correlation with that. But there's a good correlation that, hey, if you're overweight, something's wrong. And and another thing about weight is that there's a YouTuber that I have an issue with, and her name is the Garnish Life or the Garnish Style or whatever. And she made a video about why she's so attracted to non-black men, and she was talking about her high school life and how in high school she was ugly and not attractive. Well, she and the black boys wanted the white girls and all that shit. And she becomes an adult, and then she changes up, and then she notices that the white boys are talking to her, and they're giving her a chance, and she feels beautiful. And I was just kind of questioning myself, and I was stupid because I accidentally deleted the comment by accident. And it was a good comment though, but I remember what I said though. I said it's funny how you can come to black men like a looking like a damn wrecked pickup truck, but when you're in the presence of white men, all of a sudden you're a new item or something, and you wear makeup and you're doing all these things to make yourself look good, and you're losing weight. That was a funny thing because she was trying to attract black men with while being fat. And I'm like, how the hell does that work? How do you do that? That makes like literally uh, like no sense. It makes no sense. Ah, damn, my nose. It makes like literally no sense. Like, okay, I'm good. Um, because I find it very weird, and like you expect black men to like black women innately, and this is something that black women do. They always want you to be with some bottom female and accept it. Like, you tell them to lose weight, they don't do it. And then when they're not getting the love that they want, they lose the weight. But now they're looking at white men. And one thing that was funny about the Garner style is that I wonder if white men were looking at her when she was fat and overweight and she wasn't looking good. I'm like, you know, and I tried to get a rebuttal from her, but she didn't. I don't remember her answering it, but I was like, what? That's an unfair advantage that white men get, because you're looking good now, but when you was with black men, when you're trying to get with black men, you're trying to push some kind of Gabby Sidibe look on us, and I'm like, why do we have to settle for less because you have low self-esteem? And that's another thing. Black women with low self-esteem expects black men to just date them innately and give them the esteem that they need. And I'm like, it's funny how it doesn't work the other way around. When black boys don't have some good self-esteem and they feel some type of way about their appearance, black women aren't trying to date them or guilt trip them into dating them and to build them up. I don't see that shit. So I don't get how, there's this expectation for black men to date women regardless of their situation. Black men are being pushed to date single mothers. Black men are being pushed to date overweight women. Black men are pushed to believe in matriarchy. Black men are being pushed to believe that women should be leaders and all this shit. Women should be leading the household. And I'm like, and yet white boys don't fall for this shit. Yet you don't give white boys, yet you don't put white boys to task. And I'll have to make this into another video. Yeah, I have to make this other one to another video because this is going to be a completely different topic.